What's up guys, YGO Strats coming at you with another side decking guide, this time going to be for Pendulum Magicians. Pendulum Magicians are a very powerful engine, obviously. They're going to be making a huge impact on the game. They can be a little tough to decide for just because there can be so many variants. The big three, I think, in order of relevance, I guess, the Performage Magicians is probably going to be number one, if not Odd Eyes Magicians. Those two are the biggest ones. You might see Magispector Magician, so a Magispector engine splashed in. So I might have to decide for a Magispector thing as well. But in general, if they're just playing a Magician deck, these cards should be able to stop them from what they're doing in one way or the other. Also, I'm going to say, this is not every possible card to side deck. I feel like I'm missing a bunch, so by all means, let me know of things that I've missed. I'll try and fit them in the video and annotations or whatever. Probably right about here. Of just side decking cards that obviously are good, but I failed to mention. So getting right into it, obviously number one is Anti-Spell Fragrance. This is just the perfect pendulum hate card. They can't play their scales because they have to set it first, and you can't set something in the pendulum scale, so they can't play pendulums. Obviously it's going to be weak to Spell and Trap hate, which is going to be becoming more and more relevant as more and more pendulum decks are played. But if they don't have something to stop it, this can really seal the game against a lot of pendulum decks. So definitely a good thing to side. Problem is, generally it's only good in the first turn. After, like, come mid to late game, it's not as good, but you never know. Maxi is obviously a great side decking card. The deck likes to special summon a lot, and while you'll only draw one off the pendulum summon, they're probably going to be overlaying. They're going to be doing a lot of shenanigans, and so you can try and stop them by playing Maxi and not wanting to let them give you so much advantage. Majesty's Fiend is one that was just tinned in the Megatins. Obviously, everyone bought this one up because it came with Norden. So if you have it, definitely a good card to have. No monster effects is horrifying to deal with. Radiant Horn of Heaven is also a great pendulum stopping card. Stops the pendulum summon and ends the main phase so they can't attack you. Great for shutting down OTKs. Might be in your side deck if it's not in your main deck, so that's a good option. And a less common one, Giant Trap Hole. When the opponent special summons two or more monsters at the same time, destroy all monsters on the field. This one's getting a little bit of talk here and there. It's a solid card. It does destroy your monsters. They can pendulum summon just one, at which point it's dead, but it's something to think about. It also might see more play once Rafflesia comes into TCG, once Breaking of the Shadows hit, but those are just some generic ones. Going more into the specifics, really it's just siding Spell and Trap hate, so if it's not in your main deck yet, MST is obviously a fantastic one. If you're playing MSTs and want more, Twister pops face up Spell and Trap, i.e. Pendulum Scales. Wavering Eyes is obviously great, especially if you're playing a Pendulum deck. Just be wary that they might change their Wavering Eyes, in which case you just went -1 hard plus -2 because the banish and they searched one, so gotta be careful with that card. And if you're not feeling comfortable with it, Fairy Wind has been seeing play since Cleafort were a thing. A little more obscure-ish. Malcat, destroy all Spell and Trap. The opponent does have to attack to activate this. Obviously with Pendulum Magicians, if they played Pendulum Call, these all fail in general, so that's something to be wary of, but assuming they don't. Scrap Iron Statue is one that was released in the Synchron Extreme Structure deck that you might have. Pretty great against pendulums. When they activate the effect of a face-up spell or trap, you can flip this, pop it, and then set it again. It has another effect to summon a Jug monster from, I think it's the graveyard when it's destroyed, but you're not going to get that. Sort of like you don't get Scrap Dragon's effect when it dies, but this can be great against pendulums. You only get to use it once. You can't, like, use the effect, set it, then they play another pendulum scale, so you use it again. Like, once it's been set, you can't activate the trap card on the turn it's set. That applies even when it resets itself, but it is great for destroying Spell and Trap, and it doesn't, you know, you can keep doing it. They might have problems with it, so definitely something to think about. And one that saw play in a more competitive scene, you saw Exceed Universe into DD King Duodon. King Call, you guy, I can't read it upside down. This mother right here. The way this card works is Exceed Universe, you can send 2 Exceed monsters on the field to the graveyard and then special summon 1 Exceed monster from your extra deck whose level is equal to the combined levels of the 2 Exceeds, or whose rank is equal to the combined rank of the Exceeds. I believe -1, so, or equal to or -1 from. So if you send 2 rank 4s, which is honestly what you'll be doing, you can pull out 1 rank 7 or 1 rank 8 Exceed monster from your extra deck, namely Duodon. And the reason you pick Duodon is you get the effect to detach a material during either player's turn and destroy all Spell and Trap on the field. So detach Heavy Storm. obviously fantastic, and it's a 3500 beat stick. So you've got cleared 2 of their monsters, pulled out this thing at 3500 attack on your board, and you can blow up their pendulum scales. It's fantastic, obviously. He does have another effect when he's Exceed Summoned. You don't get that because this doesn't count as an Exceed Summon, if I'm not mistaken. So don't plan on using the one to negate effects, but obviously just 3500 Heavy Storm, that's what it's about. And the advantage here is that you can send the Exceeds from either side of the field. So if you have like a Castel you've already used and they just summon their Castel, you can chain this and get rid of both of them. Or, you know, if they double overlay into 2 different things, you can just really screw over their advantage. Obviously fantastic. That saw play. I can't remember who it was that was doing it, but this was seeing play in tournaments. I didn't come up with that, but it is rather genius. And then obviously in general, we've been talking about how they search with Pendulum Call, Mistake, or Mistake on Legs. Just in general, search hate. So obviously that comes along with Mind Crush and things like Mistaken Arrest if you don't search at all, in which case I want to know what deck you're playing because I don't play it. Or obviously Shared Ride, so I'll play with Necroz. So just different things to kind of stop their searching or make them want to stop searching in the case of Shared Ride there, or Mind Crush. But that's the key there, is just, you know, stopping the scales, obviously in any Pendulum deck, and then stopping the searching, because the recursion of the Pendulum monsters is eternal as long as they've got scales up, and then general destruction, stop the scale, stop the deck, all that fun stuff. So go ahead, leave a comment, tell me about the things that I've forgotten, because I'm sure I forgot something. Tell me another deck you might want to see a side deck guide for. I don't know, maybe someone plays a lot of Satellars and doesn't know how to side Light Imprisoning Mirror, but you know, whatever you need a side deck guide for, I'll do my best to make it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time on YGO Strats.